a presentation made in partnership with Gamma, not a sponsorship. Just made the bones and then I put makeup on the bones. So I don't know how many people want to talk about frugal living, but this is just another perspective. I'm not going to give you all the numbers on it. I might do that at another time when people actually watch videos, but right now this is kind of just a recording of what I think right now. Maybe look back at it later, maybe not, but who knows? Let's just make a video and gain more skills. So the general principles of how to live frugally: buy everything used. If it's in bad condition, try to fix it up. I haven't shown my sweatpants. I don't think. Actually, I cut my sweatpants on one of the videos here, but I'm gonna show how to sew. Buy everything used, Goodwill, Facebook Marketplace, unless you're getting food, um, or pots and pans and stuff. You probably just get one from Walmart, pots and pans. Otherwise, you can probably find some good ones. If you're in Minnesota, go to Minnetonka, and they're probably giving some cheap ones away for some college students. Excuse me. Try to buy everything you use as you can, especially a car. Don't waste anything. Try to reuse things. So one of the reasons I cut my sweatpants into shorts is because there are two giant holes in the crotch area of it. So it was hot that day. So now I got shorts. And the bottom of it, I don't know if you saw on the video or if it came out yet, of my air conditioning. I used the leg of one of it to hold my air conditioning tube together because I ran out of duct tape. And then the other one I'm going to use as a patch near the crotch of my sweatpants. Actually, two pairs of sweatpants because they both have holes. But you can use everything creatively, even leftover food. Airport job, I made this program with some help and some bigwig approval to take all the leftover food uh, from a weekend that we're out there and bring it to the Aliveness Project, which is for people with HIV and helps homeless people too. So now it's been over maybe 1,500 pounds of food, and I think it's zero point 0.9 for every meal on average, so over 1,000 meals for sure. I don't know the exact number. I don't have my calculator on me. But don't waste anything. You don't have to do something like that too, because if you're not in large volumes, just throw it in the grass. Like, if it's just like an apple or bread and stuff, like it's good for the I think it's microbiome, microorganisms inside the soil. Just don't waste anything, please. Wear it out entirely before you're buying something else, and buy it again used. So you might say quality lasts longer. Well, I bought a polo shirt in maybe 2019 or 2020. I still have it, but I barely wore it because it's $70. Of course, it's gonna last longer. It actually has some stains on it, but the other stuff, cheap stuff at Goodwill, or my futon I'm laying on right now. My futon was $25. Somebody could come, spill, puke, or do whatever on this futon, and I'll just throw it away. I don't care, because I just get another one for $25. There's not that much risk associated with having cheap things. You don't have to worry about, it lasting 5 years because you don't wear it. Like I've had the sweatpants that I've got from, well, it was Calvin Klein, but from 10th grade. They're a little tight, but from the very first girlfriend I've ever had, and I still have them. Now they have a bunch of holes in it that I've sewed, but stuff can last a very long time. Anyways, don't go into debt. I use credit cards. I don't hold any balance on it at the end. I pay it off basically right away, and I pay it off several times in the month. Don't know if that's good or bad. I got a 760 credit score. I'm 24, and I've never had any debt whatsoever besides the credit cards, which I've always paid off on time. So take that as you will. I don't really know much about debt stuff. I just know it's bad. Buy cars in cash. Don't know much about a home because I'm 24, not even looking towards that. But just don't go into debt, guys. Do a little Dave Ramsey. Better yet, just go to Steppen. All right, now this is for if you're like homeless or if you're trying to live extremely cheap. All right. And each one of these things I've done myself. So I was trying to live free right after high school for a very long time. Actually, not very long time. Not like years. I don't know why I said it like that. But several months. Free food. College clubs. I did that the last couple years. I joined like entrepreneurship clubs and stuff at the U. Leftover work events. Eventually, you become the go-to guy, being like, food's left over. Who are you gonna give it to? Oh, this guy. He always takes it. This guy eats everything. Whatever. You get a whole bunch of food, and look on Facebook Marketplace. Now, this is not saying go on Facebook and say free food for people in need. Don't do that. Go try to find like a bundle of stuff. You can go find like not meat because meat is like farmers. This is not the super cheap stuff. Like later you can do that later, but uh, sometimes people just have a whole bunch of food and sell it in bulk. It's not meal preps and stuff. I'm talking about like noodles, ramen noodles, and I don't know, some black market chicken or something. I'm just kidding, but try to find some food on there. Just don't be taken away from anybody who truly needs it or for a divine purpose of like homeless people or people who are in poverty because you're just living cheap. The whole thing is to act cheap, or no, to act like you're in poverty and live like you're in poverty, but not be in poverty because you're sacrificing. If that makes sense. Clothes, you could go scope some stuff out, especially at the U here at Fancy College. Dorm room, garbage room. So I had a dream one time. A dream scenario. I went in there. Garbage bags in the garbage. And I saw a tag come out. And I was like, what is that? 2 full bags of clothes. With some had the tag on it, some didn't. In the garbage. So I snagged them. My lovely friend and I, most of it was women, so she grabbed what she wanted. I grabbed a couple things, and then we brought it to Plato's Closet. Got like $35. Now, the time and the gas debatable for if that was actually good or not to bring it there, but I think I was 20 or 21. 20 or 21. And have nothing else better to do. So, cool. Clothes. This happened. I mean, I was gone for a trip for like 3 days. And then later, I was telling stories about cheap stuff or doing this and that. And then some guys were throwing away their clothes because they got either too muscular or too fat. And they gave me some clothes. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So, got some clothes. Took whatever I needed. And then went and give it to some homeless people. Because you shouldn't throw stuff away. If you can't find homeless people, not comfortable talking to them, go bring it to Plato's Closet first. But if you're giving it for free, it's probably not very good. So then bring it to Goodwill. If not, just use it for patches and stuff. And, figure out something with it. Housing. I used to sleep in an office right after high school. Not many people can do that. And I can't do it at, well, I can probably do it at the car dealership, but usually that's not a normal thing to do. So unless you have your own business or, I don't know, like a 23 or 24-year-old manager who doesn't care, don't sleep in office. But you can couch surf with buddies. Now you have to rotate them or pay them something because you just can't. Otherwise, it's going to be like you're using them. So I have my own little schemes on how to do that right after high school when I was living for super cheap. And one of those ways were to take a break for a while, cook them dinner, and after you're done for, a day or two, go sleep in your car for a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. So have a sleeping bag, maybe a quilt to cover your, cover the ground, or like, the back seat so it's a little bit more comfy. Maybe some, I never bought like curtains and stuff. I just hang up shirts and towels, whatever I had in there, just so I didn't think people were looking at me. You want to go to a not busy place, but not remote. I'm not driving to the middle of the woods and parking. Hell no. But somewhere by a public park, middle of the night, and weather permitting, I also used to sleep in a park, not on the bench or nothing. I used to bring a hammock. I was very bougie type of homeless. I I had to do that for a little bit because my house got robbed at gunpoint. Luckily, I wasn't there, but my roommate was, and uh, yeah, I couldn't go back home for a little bit. So, slept in the park for a little bit, slept in the car with some friends, Got a lot of good people around me, very nice. Parks also, sleep in like a park. Don't go sleep in the woods. Don't go sleep in a very crowded, street. Or maybe you could. I mean, people do it in Dickytown all the time. But, once it gets past, 3 to 5, if you meet somebody, they're probably gonna be a weirdo. Hygiene, you can buy that on bulk and Facebook, but if it costs you time and money to drive there, it's just better. Like, Target's not super cheap, but I just go there to go get bars of soap because it's just super fast and it saves a lot of time. So, wouldn't really go on Facebook too much for that unless you're really struggling. And use a bar soap for everything, hair, face, body, doesn't matter. Bar soap for everything. I forgot this is also the free one. So if you have any gym memberships, there's a lot of soap stuff there, and I don't take the whole thing off of the wall. But before I went to Walmart and I grabbed a bunch of the little traveling shampoos, and I would fill that up all the time. Throw that in my backpack. I always had one backpack. Let's check the RSM%. I would always have like a to-go backpack. I'd have one in my uh, car, and then I usually have a change of clothes in the one I always carried around. Now I still keep one in my car, even though I don't have to do this anymore. But it had just the essentials: underwear, socks, probably two pairs, shorts, sweatpants, sweatshirt, and t-shirt. That way you can just leave it in there all the time. Nothing fancy in there, just the bare minimum, along with some of your hygiene stuff and some either I have a like an MRE in there, and then I have a couple cans of tuna, which is not the most luxurious meal, but I don't know. Just have that. Got a tourniquet, little ace bandage stuff. I just leave that in the car. But I would just bring that stuff around. Anyways, the portable bottles too, hotels, gyms, and then I always brought a gallon of water around because if you just, sleeping in the car or staying at a friend's place, you can get a cup at a friend's place. But especially if you're sleeping in the car or at a park, there's not a lot of place to find water, and you don't want to go buy it. So just bring a gallon. Um, you can just go get one for whatever $2 at gas station or Walmart. Just bring that around with you.